The next question goes to the representative of the Outlook magazine, Sabha Naqvi, please.
Good morning, Prime Minister. When you came in with this very clean image, and now 10 years have gone past. And we have another political phenomenon in Delhi, which is the Arvind Kejriwal Aam Aadmi Party phenomenon, which has also asked for a review of electric companies. So my question to you is twofold. One, how do you rate the phenomenon of AAP? And secondly, as someone who understands policies, economics, do you think we need a CAG audit of companies which supply power? And is it a good idea?
Well, the people of India have reposed confidence in the AAP party in Delhi. I think we must respect the democratic process, and it is only time will tell whether this experience is capable of dealing with the challenges that our economy and our polity faces. It is too early. I think they've been there only less than a week. They must be given time and chance to justify themselves.
The gentleman right here, please, the representative from the India TV, if I identify him properly.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, मैं मिथिलेश कुमार हूँ इंडिया न्यूज़ से। बार बार आप कहते हैं कि राहुल गांधी हमारी कैबिनेट में आ जाएं, शामिल हो जाएं, या राहुल गांधी के लिए आप कुर्सी छोड़ने के लिए तैयार बैठते हैं, लेकिन हर बार मना कर देते हैं, आपको तकलीफ नहीं होती। और दूसरा सवाल, कांग्रेस पार्टी में किसी से बात कर लीजिए, हर कोई कहता है कि मनमोहन सिंह सरकार की नेगेटिव इमेज की वजह से कांग्रेस पार्टी की करारी हार हो रही है।
Well, that certainly is not my view, and if you feel that there are people who hold that opinion, I cannot help it. It is for historians to judge what I have done, what I have not done, what were my weaknesses, what were my strengths. As far as I am concerned, I am convinced that considering the circumstances under which I had to work because of the global slowdown, we have done reasonably well. We have delivered the highest rate of growth in the first 9 years of our government, highest ever since this government, this country got going as an independent country. No, I have always felt that our government would have been strengthened if Rahul Gandhi was part of the government, but Rahul felt that he had responsibilities to the parties which did not permit him to join the government, and I respect his sentiment.
The lady there in the corner, please, if I identify her correctly, Renu Mittal.
Hello. Mr. Prime Minister, good afternoon. It's, I think, afternoon now. Sir, there's been a clamoring within the Congress party that they needed a political face before they went to the elections. Now, did the Congress leadership ever hint to you that maybe it would have been better if you had stepped down before the elections? Because you see, from whatever you've told us in the last 1 hour, you have not really taken the blame for any of the acts of omission and commission of this government. Doesn't the buck stop also with the Prime Minister on issues of corruption and price rise, the two issues which have been identified by Rahul Gandhi as the reasons for the defeat of the party in the assembly elections?
Well, I have said what I have to say, but nobody has asked me to step down because of any inadequacies that may have characterized my tenure as Prime Minister.
Venkat, I've asked Venkat, I've identified Venkat, please.
Mr. Prime Minister, Vanakkam. Venkat Raman from Dinamala. I just wanted to ask two clarifications from you. One, when you talk about Tamil Nadu, there are two major issues you know well. One is the Sri Lankan problem, Sri Lankan Tamil issue. Other one is Tamil Nadu fishermen. According to you, when are you going to find a permanent solution for the Tamil Nadu fishermen, number one? Number two, when your government is so concerned about Devayani, the Indian diplomat, but at the same time, you're not bothered about the Sri Lankan Tamils, which is a part of Indian origin. Why this partiality? Why the stepmother treatment towards the Sri Lankan Tamils?
Well, it is not true that we are not concerned about the well-being of the Tamil population in Sri Lanka. We have consistently made every effort to persuade the government of Sri Lanka to address the genuine problems of the Tamil population of Sri Lanka. We'll continue to do so in the future as well. As far as the fishermen's fate is concerned, we have on innumerable number of occasions discussed this matter with the government of Sri Lanka, and now we find that in the northern Sri Lanka we have a government of the Tamil population themselves. We feel that there is an opportunity for the Tamil population of Sri Lanka and the Tamil population in Tamil Nadu to sit together to work out an arrangement between the fishermen of the two countries which will be mutually satisfactory. I think this thing is going to happen. This is the only way in which this problem of fishermen in both countries can be resolved.
Liz Matthews from the Mint, please. Liz Matthews from the Mint.
Sir, what would you say as the best and the lowest moment in your term as the Prime Minister in the last 1 decade?
I'm not sorry.
Liz, could you repeat your question, please?
What would you say as the lowest and the best moment or achievement in your term as the Prime Minister in the last 1 decade?
The best and the lowest moments.
Well, I will need time to reflect on this, but certainly I think the best moment for me was when we were able to strike a nuclear deal with the United States to end the nuclear apartheid which had sought to stifle the processes of social and economic change and technical progress of our country in many ways.
The gentleman in the tan coat there, please. वो आपके पीछे, संजय आपके पीछे, उसके बाद मैं आप सभी को बारी देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. उनको, हाँ, इनको. Could you identify yourself, please?
Sir. आज तक से जिस तरह से आम आदमी पार्टी ने करप्शन को कोर इशू बनाया और दिल्ली का इलेक्शन जीत गई, बड़ी पार्टियों को पीछे छोड़कर सरकार बना लिया, आपको क्या लगता है कि नेशनल पार्टीज के लिए, बड़ी पार्टियों के लिए इसमें कोई मैसेज है? और इससे क्या आपको लगता है कि लोकसभा चुनाव में अब कांग्रेस के सामने नरेंद्र मोदी के अलावा अरविंद केजरीवाल भी एक चैलेंज हो गए?
Well, corruption is an issue, and certainly the AAP party has been able to make a success of their concern for eradication of corruption. Whether they will succeed or not, I think that only time will tell. I have a feeling that dealing with corruption is not an easy process, even though there may be opportunities as well as challenges. We must collectively grapple with the task of dealing with corruption. This is not a matter which only one party can accomplish. Various political parties have to work together to deal with this monster.
Manini Chatterjee, if I see her behind the cameras.
Prime Minister, sir, Manini Chatterjee of the Telegraph. You have already declared that you will not be, you're not a candidate for a UPA 3 if it were coming, if it so happened that the UPA 3 were to come. But you've also said that Narendra Modi as Prime Minister would be disastrous for the country. So after the 2014 election, do you plan to just retire and write your memoirs and play with your grandchildren, or are you going to play an active role either in the opposition or in the government, even if you were not the Prime Minister?
I haven't thought through, I think, that process. It's too early. I have still 5 months to complete my present tenure, and therefore when I reach that stage, I will cross that bridge.
IBN 7 से प्रबंजन।
मिस्टर प्राइम मिनिस्टर, मैं नीरज हूं IBN 7 न्यूज़ चैनल से। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं कि आपके करीब 9.5 साल के कार्यकाल में ये एक परसेप्शन रहा कि फैसले 10 जनपद में होते हैं, उनका ऐलान 7 RCR या PMO से होता है। कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी या उपाध्यक्ष राहुल गांधी का अगर इशारा भी हो तो सरकार उसे अमल में लाने में, उसका ऐलान करने में बिल्कुल देर नहीं लगाती। इस परसेप्शन, इस छवि के बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
Well, it is not a disadvantage. The Congress party president or the vice president, if they have any views, they ought to be reflected in the thinking of the government to the extent that it is possible. And I think it is not a disadvantage or a drawback in the system that we have operated. The fact that Mrs. Gandhi, or for that matter Rahul Gandhi, were there to back the government up is something which has enabled us to deal with many difficult moments in these 9.5 years. There were, of course, times when they differed from what the government had done. The government reconsidered those issues, and I don't think this is wrong or a disadvantage to make corrections if the party leadership feels that such corrections were required in the national interest.
The honorable lady there in the black coat, please. Could you identify yourself?
Smita Prakash of ANI. You talked a lot about your pride and satisfaction in many decisions that you took as Prime Minister. What would be your regrets, at least 2 regrets that you had, that in the 9.5 years you couldn't deliver on something that you wanted to very badly? Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, I haven't thought through this matter, but certainly I would like to do a lot more in the area of healthcare for children, healthcare for women. The national rural health mission that we started has achieved impressive results, but a lot more needs to be done.
The lady right there behind her, please.
Yeah, Padma Rao Sundarji, Dr. Manmohan Singh, I write for Die Welt, German newspaper. On behalf of the European media, I'd like to ask you, you started your address by speaking of better times in terms of the economy. From the foreign investors' point of view, and since we are in the era of coalition governments pretty much, would you say that the gloom is lifting also in terms of FDI, foreign investment? What would you like to say to foreign investors who have for the several years been a little skeptical about investing in India?
Well, India provides a hospitable environment for foreign direct investment. We will continue to do so. We will continue to improve upon our practices wherever they are needed.
सिंधी पत्रकारिता के प्रतिनिधि।
सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच मनीष जी कि आपने एक बहुत छोटे समाचार पत्र को भी स्थान दिया जहां हमारे इतने बड़े बड़े चैनल और पत्रकार हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, मेरा आपसे एक सवाल है कि पिछले 10 सालों में आपने बहुत ही आर्थिक सुधार के कार्यक्रम किए जो आपने बताया। आप RTI बिल लेके आए, रिसेंटली आपने लोकपाल बिल पास किया। कुछ अब जैसा अभी आपने कहा कि अभी मेरे 5 महीने का कार्यकाल और है, आप ऐसे और कौन से बिल हैं जो अपोजिशन को आप रिक्वेस्ट करें और अपोजिशन पार्टीज को रिक्वेस्ट करके पार्लियामेंट चलाएं और देश के आर्थिक और भ्रष्टाचार के जो मुद्दे हैं उनको खत्म करने के लिए आप कुछ और बिल पास कराएं? जैसा राहुल जी ने अभी 1 हफ्ता पहले भी एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कहा था कि मैं चाहता हूं कि कुछ जो बिल पेंडिंग है जिसमें महिला आरक्षण बिल भी हो सकता है, क्या आप चाहते हैं कि इस तरह के बिल आपके कार्यकाल से पूर्व पास हो जाए? धन्यवाद।
हमारी कोशिश होगी कि एंटी करप्शन बिल 5-6 बिल हैं जो पार्लियामेंट में पड़े हैं, एक ऐसा माहौल पैदा किया जाए कि ये बिल पास हो जाए और हमारी करप्शन के खिलाफ जो लड़ाई है वो आगे बढ़ सकेगी। हमारी ये भरपूर कोशिश रहेगी। महिला, आई थिंक विमेन्स रिजर्वेशन also happens to be one such area.
निर्बल पाठक। निर्बल, would you identify the organization that you represent?
सर, मैं निर्बल पाठक हूँ, हिंदुस्तान। सर, आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि ज़्यादातर सवाल आपकी इमेज को लेके हैं। जब आप प्रधानमंत्री PV नरसिम्हा राव के मंत्रिमंडल में थे, वित्त मंत्री के तौर पर आपकी इमेज थी कि आप कोई नॉनसेंस टॉलरेट नहीं करते। और स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड हैं काफ़ी। इस पिछले 7-8 साल में हम लोगों को ऐसा लगा कि आपने काफ़ी नॉनसेंस टॉलरेट किया है, और एक आपकी पार्टी के लोग भी ये कहते हैं कि आप ओवररेटेड इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं और अंडररेटेड पॉलिटिशियन हैं। तो क्या इस पे आपकी टिप्पणी?
Well, what you think of me or what the country thinks of me is something which I cannot speculate. But I have, as I mentioned earlier, I have tried to serve my country with the greatest sense of dedication and commitment. When I became Prime Minister, the general perception was that the Congress party has never been able to run a coalition government. The Congress ability to run a coalition government was to be tested, and we showed that the Congress party can successfully manage the coalition to complete not one but 2 terms. Now in the process there have been, I think, some compromises, but I can assure you that those compromises relate to peripheral areas. They do not in any way affect our ability or our keenness to deal with national problems with the objectivity that is necessary.
The lady right there, please.
Mr. Prime Minister, this is Shweta Rajpal Kohli from NDTV Profit. During UPA 2 tenure, we saw not just a sharp slowdown, but also an immense trust deficit between the industry and the government. Were you really saddened by the sharp criticism that came from some top industry leaders? Also, if we were to identify the domestic factors that led to the slowdown and the trust deficit, what according to you tops the list?
Well, there were domestic factors as well, but more important was the role of international factors. First, the global slowdown of 2008-2009, then the Eurozone crisis. But I would be the last one to say that there were no domestic factors. There were infrastructure bottlenecks. There were bottlenecks in terms of timely clearances of the projects from the point of view of environment and forest clearance. So these were also factors which influence both the international factors and the domestic factors to combine to contribute to a slowdown in the rate of economic growth of our. Pardon?
Sanjeev Trivedi, please.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, मैं सहारा इंडिया मीडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करता हूं और मेरा नाम संजीव त्रिवेदी है। पिछले दिनों जब 4 राज्यों में चुनावी हार हुई कांग्रेस की, तो आपके पार्टी के लोग भी ये मानते नजर आए कि दरअसल ये विपक्ष की उपलब्धि नहीं है, बल्कि केंद्र सरकार कई मुद्दों पर, कई संजीदा मुद्दों पर नॉन परफॉर्मर साबित हुई और इस कारण से हार हुई। इस आलोक में मेरा आपसे ये सवाल है कि क्या आप अपने मंत्रियों का पीरियोडिक अप्रेजल करते हैं, और अगर ऐसा है तो क्या उसका बारीकी से रिव्यू भी होता है, और आपको लगता है कि इस तरह के रिव्यू को सार्वजनिक किया जाना चाहिए ताकि पता चल सके कौन मंत्री या कौन मंत्रालय नॉन परफॉर्मर हुए?
Well, it is an ongoing process. My office monitors all major sectors, particularly the infrastructure sectors, and if there are any weaknesses in the functioning of any one particular sector or ministry, these things are discussed in the cabinet from time to time.
The gentleman right there, please. In the second row, right here. Yeah, please.
Afternoon, sir. My question really relates to the opening part of your comments.
Could you kindly identify yourself?
So sorry, Siddharth Zarabi from CNBC TV 18. Sir, at the opening part of your remarks, you spoke about growth momentum coming back. But the fact on the ground is that if you see prices across all sectors, energy prices, telecom prices, airline prices, general consumers from the middle class, those prices are running out of hand. And you spoke about inflation also. You have 5 months left, like you said. Is there any possibility that perhaps because of the political imperatives that this government and your government can get a handle on inflation finally at the very fag end of your tenure?
Well, we'll certainly make every effort. We are trying to do that. And the Vice President of the Congress Party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, convened a meeting of Congress Chief Ministers to discuss what can be done in the Congress-ruled states to bring prices under control as well.
May I apologize from those who I could not identify. There'll be another time. I would like to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and thank all of you for this very stimulating interaction. Once again, my sincerest apologies. I know that a lot of you wanted to ask questions. I've tried my best to go across the hall. The Prime Minister has been extremely patient and has answered your questions. Thank you once again very much. And I promise you that I'll request the Prime Minister to be with us another time to address the questions which the rest of you have. Thank you very much.
I sincerely believe that what Mr. Narendra Modi is saying is not going to materialize.